this is in response to assignment 1 in MSOM 602. What I thought I would do is take this particular assignment and show you how I would have developed the paper for this using the 6-stop model that you were introduced to in MSOM 600. So this is the assignment that had you really look at 4 different things. So what you were supposed to do is talk about the characteristics of a high-performing organization, define what the quadruple bottom line is, define the scores model, and focus on how those can be helpful to make an organization successful. And then the last one was really an application part of this that talked about the quadruple bottom line and the scores model. How can that have application for personal as well as professional settings? So here's the way that I would have set that up. First of all, always start with a descriptive title. Don't put assignment 1.3.4 or whatever in there. Have a descriptive title so that the reader would be encouraged to look further and to read that. And so for me, I put high-performing organizations, I always like to use colons, fuel for growth and sustainability, all right? And so stop 1 is the introduction in the 6-stop model that includes 2 pieces, the hook and the purpose statement. For the hook, I would have gone out and found some data, some information, some sources that talked about how how a high-performing organization is pretty rare. And how that data or how it could be used to make sure that an organization meets that need. So something that would cause them to say, you know what, I've never heard of high-performing organizations before. You don't define it here. You'll do that in the body of your paper. But something that would cause them to go, yeah, I want to read further. And then the purpose statement here is going to be kind of broad. So it's not going to be like a one-sentence purpose statement because you're going to as part of your purpose, you're going to define for them. Again, you don't do it in the purpose statement, but you can say the purpose of this paper is to define a high-performing organization and share the challenges that they face to meet this very, very high bar. But not only are you going to do that, you're going to provide some solutions, some implementation strategies that could help them address those challenges. And then finally, here at the end, you're going to share some principles that you find that could have application for people as well as organizations. So that's the introduction, the hook, and the purpose statement. And then the foundation and definition here for stop 2 will be, what is a high-performing organization? Well, according to Blanchard, the high-performing organization begins with the triple bottom line, or the quadruple bottom line, sorry. It used to be the triple, and several years ago, Blanchard added the 4th one. But the quadruple bottom line needs to be defined here. And so you provide some general transitional statements here. Then you go into the quadruple bottom line. Remember this formatting in APA 7th edition. So this supports this heading. This supports that heading. So this is called a level 3 heading. So it's bold and in italics in the left-hand margin. So you've got the quadruple bottom line. You have a general introduction there. And this is where the meat is, the provider of choice, the employer of choice, the investment of choice, and the corporate citizen of choice. Okay? So you're providing that information as a foundation, as a definition. And then you're going to talk about the challenges. And these will be things that you come up with. Why is it hard to be the different providers of choice, employers of choice, investments of choice, and corporate citizens of choice? Just because you say it doesn't make it so. And so those are some big challenges and big opportunities for people. Well, then the next section, which would be stop 4 and stop 5, I've combined those here, would be proposed solutions and implementation strategies to be able to become those suppliers of choice and so on and so on. And so one of the key things that you learned this week was about the scores model. And so this would be a great place for you to introduce the scores model here as a solution, as an implementation strategy to meet the challenges of becoming a high-performing organization. Okay? And so you do the same thing here. Scores model, that scores model is a level 2 heading because it supports this level 1 heading. And then the different components, the 6 components of scores, will support this level 2 heading. So these are level 3 headings. And this is where the meat and the content would be there too. And then there's one section down here at the end I would include, which would be the application of personal lives before you go into your conclusion. So hopefully that helps you provide some idea on how to frame and how to outline your ideas and thoughts to answer this assignment. And again, for those of you who had me in MSOM 600, you know that I'm a big outline fan, and I find way too many people who just get an assignment and they start writing without an idea on how they want to frame it up. So this is the way that I frame up every single paper or every single proposal that I have, as I look at it using this 6-stop model. And then I just go provide my headings in there. Sometimes the headings will shift a little bit as I get more understanding, as I get a couple of aha moments while I'm doing my research and things of that nature. But at least you're able to see how this is going to flow and how you're going to put it together. And hopefully it makes some sense to you. All right? If you have any questions, let me know. Take care.